Welcome to Startup Hype. I am your host, Christy Turcios. Today we're going to meet Regina Popova, a very talented wedding photographer in the Bay Area who runs her own photography company called Regina Popova Photography. Regina moved to the US when she was 2 years old from Ukraine, and she has accomplished so much. She also holds a master's degree from Tulane University in biomedical and chemical engineering. Outside of her photography passion, Regina also works as a full-time project manager at one of the biggest gas and electric companies here in California called Pacific Gas and Electric Company. Isn't that amazing? I mean, how does she do it, right? So let's go meet Regina and find out more about her business and about her life.
Stay inspired.
Stay motivated.
Stay hyped.
This is Startup Hype.
Regina, welcome to Startup Hype. I am so excited that you joined us today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So Regina, first of all, tell me, so you have a master's in biomedical and chemical engineering. How on earth did you end up taking up photography? What inspired you?
Honestly, it was my own wedding. When I got married, I researched a bunch of photographers and vendors, and I just graduated from getting my master's. My husband, well, not my husband, but he was my groom at the time, was 1 month out from graduating from getting his law degree. And we wanted to get married. We found everything. I put a budget together, and it was just really hard to find a photographer whose style I admired, but who would fit in my budget. And a lot of people would say, oh, well, why don't you cut your budget here or cut your budget there? We cut our budget everywhere where we could. Essentially, we were paying it for ourselves. 4 months before our wedding, I finally found a photographer. I went through her galleries. I liked what I saw. We did an engagement shoot. I gave back some feedback on what I liked, what I didn't like, what I would want to see more of at the wedding or less of. And we were on the same page. And then I got my gallery back after the wedding, and it really wasn't up to par with what I thought. And based on some of her previous work, I feel like it could have been a little bit better. And I realized right then and there what I wanted to do in the little spare time that I had. I didn't want other couples to have that same experience that I did. So I decided to jump in and become a wedding photographer and be able to give this luxury experience without the luxury price tag.
That's amazing. I mean, I think that's so engineer of you because, you take something that you see a challenge in and you come up with a solution. And I think that's where your engineering mind came in, right? You're like, I need to create a solution for these type of challenges that other brides might face. And I think that's also very inspirational that you did that because I can relate. And the worst thing that can happen is for a bride after all of that hard work to come back and see their photos and hate them. I mean, that's the worst for sure. But tell me, how did you start growing this photography business?
Research goes all the way back. I started looking for groups and just groups around the Bay Area and things like that. Lo and behold, Instagram helped a lot. Kind of like how fate would have it is I saw this Instagram post of this course opening up, and it was called Walk Through a Wedding Workshop, which was perfect because I have never photographed a wedding in my life, so I needed to know what to do. And it just so happened that I had just enough money for this workshop. It was on these dates, and it was this husband and wife team who were coming in from Connecticut to California, and they almost never come to the West Coast. And I was like, I'm going to sign up for it. I had very little savings, but I put everything I had into this workshop. Everything I had was rented, all the way down to the camera memory cards.
Wow.
Was rented to go to this workshop. It was 2 days, very like intensive learning. It was kind of like classroom, and then you would apply it outside. They had a bride and groom model couple. They had flat lays. They had reception. They set everything up for you, and you would literally walk through a wedding, and they would teach you kind of what to look out for, what settings to use, what lights to do, everything like that. And at the end, they gave you a critique on your portfolio from that weekend. And so I presented my work. I edit right now with like Lightroom and Photoshop. I never even opened up those two programs until that weekend. I downloaded it at the workshop. And, you know, at night I would come home and edit what I thought these photos should be like, and presented these images to them. And I asked for this critical feedback, and they gave it to me, and they said, you're really good. From never having shot a wedding before, just if you continue practicing, you can grow your business. These are some things that you need to work on. These are your weaknesses. These are your strengths.
Right.
And like, come back in a year and let's see where your progress is.
That's awesome. So you had this hidden talent that you discovered just by doing this. I think that's great. And I've seen some of your pictures. They're very beautiful. I went to go look around your Instagram. It's great. I suggest for people to definitely go and check them out. But I did notice that you also collaborate with a lot of businesses. And my question is, how do you communicate and engage with those businesses so you can grow and help them grow as well?
You kind of actually said it in your question. It's the communication is key. There are so many vendors that I want to work with, and I'll reach out to them and we'll put on styled shoots together, or maybe we'll just sit down for a coffee or and chat. And I let them know right off the bat why I'm contacting them. We don't have enough time to really play games or to kind of dance around the topics. So I kind of tell them, hey, I'm contacting you for this reason. I think by us working together, we can refer a lot of clients together. This is my mission statement behind my business. I think it's similar based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. What would you like to take this relationship further? Would you like to chat? And I guess that's how I've been able to get a lot of working relationships with vendors.
So I heard that you say you have a referral process. So what if there's other photographers? Do you refer them, or do you see that as maybe, competition for your business?
No, there's enough weddings and sessions and just everything to go around. I possibly, as a single business owner, cannot take all of them on. So the best thing I can do for all of us is refer them out, especially if we're not a good fit for each other. I may not, especially if there's a couple who wants a different editing style, or maybe our personalities don't match. It goes back to, I want them to have a great wedding experience, and that I may not be the perfect photographer for them, and someone else may be a perfect photographer. So I would rather make sure that they have an amazing wedding day than, try and hold on to this client because I'm afraid to let them go.
I think that's great. I think it's great how you collaborate with your community and you do that. But throughout all of this, failure, I know, can be difficult in any kind of business. Is there a time where you felt defeat, and how did you overcome this?
I think part of me feels a defeat when I really, really connect with a couple, but then they end up going with another photographer, which I understand.
You're like, bummer.
It is. I definitely want what's best for them. I just,
Yeah.
I was really I was like, yes, we're going to go. We're going to have an amazing wedding day. And then it's like let down. And I take that with stride. I'll actually send them an email back and I'll let them know I loved working with you, or I loved having the chance to talk with you and chat with you all about your wedding day. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I would love to know why you didn't move on with me, is so I can make my business better for other clients. Maybe it gives me a chance to see, to have an outsider look into my business, which I don't always have.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you flip it into something positive so that it can help you for your future, business with other couples. So another question I have for you, which I'm really curious about, is how do you balance your corporate life and your business? Because you're working Monday through Friday as a regular full-time project manager for one of the biggest gas and electric companies here in California, PG&E, and then on weekends you have weddings. And I see that sometimes you post about triple headers. What is all that about? And how do you do it?
Something I really, really learned was time management. And that's, I think, something I learned from a very early age. Being raised by like a single mom, she and I, we were never, we could never just sit down in one place. She was a busy bee, so I grew up to almost be like a busy bee. And it's just something that I've had throughout my whole life. How I'm managing this business with my job is honesty. My coworkers, my supervisors, they know what I do on the side. I try not, I'm very selective with my Friday weddings, on which Friday weddings I take on. Sometimes I'll take them on, sometimes I won't.
I didn't even know you did Friday weddings. Okay, let's add Friday to that.
So I'll do that. And then I only take on a select few weddings a year, just because for that reason. While other photographers, they take on more weddings because that is their support system, that's their livelihood. It isn't for me. So I take on maybe 12 to 15 weddings a year, but I guess this year it's like 17 weddings.
Wow.
But just because that's what I'm able to manage. I'm able to devote everything I have to my couples when I have only a select few weddings that I'll take. But it's not always easy. I will be working from about 7 to 5:36. I'll take a little break with my husband and we'll have dinner or just catch up throughout the day. And then I'll be back on my computer editing photos from 6:30 till midnight, sometimes later if it's busy season. And I just have to make sure that my work doesn't fall behind because I don't want to lose my job.
Well, definitely.
I need that.
I seriously don't know where you get the energy, but that's great. I'm glad that you're enjoying it too, for sure. And how long have you had your photography business for?
I've been doing photography for about 4 years.
Okay.
I've been doing photography under my own brand for 2 years.
Nice. And what do you think you've learned through this, creating your own business? Is there something that you've learned? Anything major?
Everything. I learned from other people. So before ever going into business for myself, I did extensive research on what I need to have, what I need to make sure I'm covered by. I've learned everything from contracts to taxes to, I don't even know, just because I've heard so many businesses fail in the first year and I didn't want to be just another statistic. So I did what I could to not be that. I still have a long way to go, but essentially really one takeaway from starting my own business is just willpower. If you have the willpower to do it,
get up and do it.
Get up and do it. Yeah, like you really just have to start, and then in many ways the net will appear as you fumble your way through.
Now, this sounds so wise from you. Is there somebody that had some either positive or negative impact in the kind of person that you are today, like, or that you became?
I owe it kind of all to my mom. She's amazing. She was a single mother. She worked full time. She got her master's. There was always food on the table, and I never missed out on like a childhood. And I'm so lucky that she taught me independence, and that no matter what, she always supported me in every goal that I have. And she always pushed me to be better, to do better, because she knows I can break my own glass ceilings.
She sounds like an amazing woman, and I think, it reflects here on the person you are here today. And just when you talk about her, your eyes just sparkle and shine. So I'm sure she's so proud of the person you've become, for sure. Yeah. So, now that you got the hang of being a photographer, what's next for you in photography business, or is there any new areas that you would like to explore?
To be honest, I created my business because I wanted to fill a void in the market. And as long as I'm continuing to fill this void in the market, I think I want my business to kind of be where it is. I don't see myself going ever full-time into photography. I think I like working, and I like the stability a little too much. But I just see myself continuing to give other couples that luxury experience.
Nice. So, Regina, what takeaway message would you like to leave us with today?
You're never too old to start anything. I think I kind of touched a little bit on it before. Just willpower, go out there, be brave. You will have so many people who may go against you or may try and talk you down. Don't listen to them. Let haters be haters. You do you, boo. You do what makes you happy. Go out there and conquer the world.
I love that. Let haters be haters. You do you, boo. I love it. Thank you so much, Regina. It's been so much fun having you here. What a great treat.
Having me.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. Please like our video, comment below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay inspired, stay motivated, stay hyped. This is Startup Hype. See you next time.